Hey guys, and welcome back to a new episode of Cos-Say. Today I am here with True Chaos Cosplays. Yeah, we're gonna jump into this. How long have you been cosplaying?
Let's see, so it's a tough question because basically when I first started cosplaying, it was like 10 years ago, but I went to school, got in a relationship, went on like a pseudo hiatus where I was like, I really like cosplay and I'll do like little things here and there, but never went to any cons or anything like that. And I would just, like, Halloween was my con. And then after I transferred and got situated and more comfortable in money, and more comfortable, I started cosplaying a lot more in like 2012, 2013. So I like to think it's 10 years, but sometimes it's more realistically like 7 or 8 years when it's like been a full force go. But I still love cosplay and I haven't been doing it for a very long time.
What was your first cosplay?
If you consider my parents putting me in stuff, my first cosplay was the pink Time Force Power Ranger. I was adorable.
I don't doubt that.
But the first one, like, I made and everything was actually multiple because I did it all at one con. My first con that I went by myself and actually dressed up was I tried to do a cosplay every single day. A different one. I was real ballsy. It was really dumb. But so the first one I ever wore the very first day. Oh, no, I totally forgot. Okay, scratch that. No, my brain just did a stupid motion. I used to work at this really cool store that was an anime store, and we sold like toys, anime goods, Hello Kitty crap. It was called Character World, but now it's called they renamed it for some stupid reason. It's like, I don't know. I haven't been there, but they have it at the Atlanta Mall. But it's called Character World, and I worked there, and our boss was like, I want you guys to cosplay on Saturdays. Can you do that? And I was like, sure, question mark? I don't have anything, but we'll see what I can throw together. So my first cosplay, that there is a total of, count them, 3 pictures of, because they were taken by my friend that worked at Hot Topic, was Misa from Death Note. No wig, just the outfit. It was real bad. But the first one, and I wore like Hot Topic clothes, I didn't even make anything. But the first cosplay that I actually made was also for the same job, was Pan from Dragon Ball Z. And my brother helped me make it. Like, I took some old t-shirts and like cut them all up and sewed them together and everything. It was really cool. I made a bandana out of an old shirt. I spent $0 on that cosplay. I'm really proud of that one too. But I think there's more pictures of that one in existence. But they're not, like, I didn't wear them to a con or anything. But my first con cosplay was Medusa from Soul Eater. I still have that, and I still rock that cosplay, and I love that cosplay. Because it was the first one I made, first con cosplay, and first time I wore body paint. It was a lot of firsts. It was a good time.
Speaking of first, you want to tell us more about your first con?
Yes, so my first con that I ever went to was Little Baby Me, and it was a real small con, and it was like my parents were like, here, look at this little thing that you can do, and it was like really cool. I had no idea. I was like, my eyes were like this big, and I was like, this is amazing. But other than that, it was all supervised. But my first unsupervised con, I went when I was 18, 20, something like that. I don't know, bad memory. But it was super fun. I wanted to go so badly to a con because I wanted to do something fun and exciting after I graduated high school. So my twin brother and I were like, let's do this. It's going to be awesome. We're going to get this big group because we love Soul Eater. Yeah. No, don't do that. So it was me and my brother, our adopted brother. It was my best friend, Miranda. Our other friend, Hawthorne. Another guy from work that we met. Who else? Oh, my significant other at the time. And then one of our other friends named Brooke. And then Brooke's friend that they invited last minute. I think there was one more. Oh, yeah. And then, like, they didn't stay the night, but they, like, crashed at our place. That one day they came was, like, 2 people from my significant other's college. So there was, like, 11 people in this godforsaken hotel room that was a 1-bed. Horrible idea. It was a really cheap convention, but it was horrible. Like, we had enough people to get the group pass at AWA. That's how many people we did. I'm not joking. We were going to have more, but 2 people bailed out at the last minute. People listening at home, don't do that. It's so horrible. It's so uncomfortable. We had like 4 people on the king bed in like the main room, 4 people on the pull-out sofa, and like 2 people on the floor. And like we rotated and took turns on who slept where to keep it fair. But I like was the orchestrator for all this. It was a hot freaking mess. As fun as it was, there was drama because of the crowdedness. There was mess everywhere. Because I was the only one that had experience, I was helping everyone get ready. I made like almost everyone's cosplays in that room, as well as their wigs. And so I didn't have any time to get ready. So it was a mess. And I loved all my friends and I treasure that memory forever. But it was a hot freaking mess. It was so bad. One girl threw up on the sofa that wasn't even intended to come. She was just a friend that got drunk. And then, like, one of the roommates, like, friends put her in a stairwell and left her there. I checked on her once I found out. I didn't know that at all. One of my friends, like, got all emotional because she liked somebody else in the room and they rejected her. It was a mess. But it was a lot of fun. We brought all our own food and, like, ate a bunch of stuff. But it was a mess. But when we all wore Soul Eater, we had Soul, we had Medusa, we had Stein, and we had Patty, we had Arachnid, we had the werewolf guy with like the no future gear, we had Maka's dad, we had a whole bunch of others, I can't remember, but like everyone, the like requirement to come to our group was to cosplay from Soul Eater. Like that was the requirement. And it was so cool. And like we barely made it through the con hall because we had such a large group. Everybody's like, oh, this is so cool. Like, you guys are so awesome. It was a lot of fun. But it was a chaotic mess. And I will never, ever do it again. I love every one of them dearly. Most of them were actually my blood relatives. But I will never do it again. It's not happening.
Speaking of con memories, what's one of your best con memories? I know how to speak English.
So I have 2 con memories, and I can't decide which, but they're from 2 different cons. One's from AWA, and one's from Momo. So at AWA, the first year I ever went, I did Soul Eater, like I said before, but I also did Sword Art Online, and I did an Asuna cosplay. And it was like the wig was real bad, like the cosplay itself, like I didn't know the trick with like knee-high socks to keep them up, stitch them into pantyhose and slide them on and they stay up. Didn't know that, so I was like pulling up the socks the whole time. Like, it was very frustrating. My sword was made out of cardstock paper and popsicle sticks, not craft foam or Warbler or anything like that. Like, I was a real baby cosplayer, real inexperienced. And I did like my normal makeup. I didn't do any cosplay makeup. Like it was baby obs all max. It was just so cute. And I see those pictures and I'm like, oh. But a couple years later, I was back and I was more experienced and I was like really confident in my cosplay. I was doing Suki from Avatar: Last Airbender with my ex who's doing Sokka, and we were sitting in a panel. And it was a little dark, and you see a guy get up, and he's like, looking like he's about to leave. I'm like, that's rude. It just started. You should stay. Well, he waltzes over to us and sits in front of us. And he's like, hey, I got a question. It might be a little weird. And I'm like, go for it, dude. Nothing's weird unless you just are crossing a huge Title IX line. He's like, so is this you? And he pulls up his phone, and there's a picture of me as Asuna on his phone. And I'm like, yeah, that's me as Asuna a couple years ago. And he's like, yeah, you were my favorite Asuna cosplayer. You just look so realistic. And I was like, what? And it made me so happy because I'm in a completely different cosplay. The room is dark. And that cosplay was bad. And I've actually sold it. Like, I don't even do Asuna anymore. And the guy was like, yeah, you just look so awesome. And I just recognized you. And like the guy and he still follows me on Instagram. And like, I'll still message him every now and then. And he's just so sweet. It made my heart so happy that somebody recognized me and like my talent, and it just wanted to come over and like tell me that. And it'd been 2 or 3 years. It was just shocking, and it was such a good feeling. And the other one was my last Momo that I went to before moving to Japan. I did full Bakugo hero outfit, and it wasn't finished yet. So I borrowed one of my friend's gauntlets and mask. But my friend Etrolight Cosplay was like, let's do a Baku Kiri since you're going to be at Momo. We'll do it like on the Thursday. And I was like, okay. So I get there, and I'm like, hey. And they look awesome as their Kiri. Their Kiri is so freaking awesome. And they're like, you look great. And I was like, oh, no. But I was like really nervous because it was my first time in full Baku gear. It was like, ooh, this is a big moment for me because Bakugo is my favorite. And they're like, we're going to shoot over here in this little corner area. Are you ready? It's like, yeah, he's shooting for us. And they're like, oh, my friend over there. And they were doing a cosplay from Violet Evergarden. And I was like, they were doing Benny Blue. And I was like, oh, that looks really good. I love your pants. I would wear this on a regular basis because they're like corset from like the hip bones all the way down. And it's like, you can see through it. And it's just so cool. And I was like, I would wear those pants. And they were like, thanks. And it took, I think, halfway through the photo shoot for me to realize that the photographer taking pictures of me and Etrolight was Holy Grail Cosplay, who is now one of my really, really, really good friends, probably one of my best friends. And I was like, I love your cosplays so much. And I was being a freaking nerd and like fanning over them, embarrassing out of myself to this photographer who's taking time out of their day to take pictures of me and my friend. And how they're my friend to this day, I don't know. I think they just like to make fun of me and be the running joke, but I really do love them and they love me. But it was just a good memory as I got to cosplay my full boy and hero, take a cool photo shoot, and meet one of my now best friends. It was just awesome. So.
Speaking of friends, who are some people that you're really, really close to that you're proud to call your friends?
And it's so hard because there's so many. You know, I'm really one of those grateful people that have such an amazing support system and friends. Like, obviously, like, my fiance is my best friend, and no one could replace them in my life. But in my cosplay community, that's such a difficult question. I have a best friend named Miranda. She's everything to me, and I haven't even seen her since I got back to America. And it hurts. It hurts so much that I can't go see her because her parents work in the hospital, and she's exposed every day. So I can't even go see her. And then my friend Tiffany, who used to be a really popular cosplayer, but stepped down and threw her towel in. So those two people are my big, like, support system here in the States. But in the, like, heavy into the cosplay community, there are regular cosplayers that are literally amazing people that I would die for. Would be Ghost Boy Cosplay, Prickly Cosplay, Beefy, and Holy Grail Cosplay. And there is more, there's so much more, but those people, like, I'm as big as a fan of them as I am their friends. Like, anytime they post something, I'm like, oh, like, comment, like, look at this stuff, share my story, like, do you see this awesome cosplayer? It's not even the fact that they're my friends. Like, I would do this crap if I weren't their friends, because I'm such a big fan of their stuff. But I'm just fortunate enough to call them my friends. And I literally am fortunate and thankful every day. And even if they had no followers or weren't in the cosplay community, like, that has nothing to do with it. I've been called out and said that I'm only friends with popular cosplayers for, like, clout chasing. And that pisses me off because I could give two freaking craps less that they are popular. I love them for them and everything that they are. They're amazing cosplayers. And they're just such good people, and I would literally do anything for any of them. And I know if I texted them halfway across the world in Japan or not, or even back in America, if I texted them that I needed them, they would be there in a heartbeat. And that's why they're my best friends, and I love every single one of them. Ghost Boy, Prickly, Beefy, and Holy Grail, I would do anything for them.
That's so cute. I'm sorry. It's just... They're really sweet from the interactions that I've had with them, and just the way that you talk about them it's just so cute to see that's I'm so happy for you.
Thank you. They're amazing people.
They really are, and so are you.
Oh, thank you.
But yeah, on a completely separate note, I'm gonna jump to because we were on a good note. Now I have to ask some more touchy questions. So we had talked about a lot of the positive memories that you've had at cons. Can we talk about some of the negative ones that you've had?
Absolutely, because everyone's got them, and everyone thinks no one else experiences that. They're like, no one knows what I'm going through because no one has bad experiences. Cosplay is amazing all the time. False. There are toxic people in every fandom in every community, and that's just how the world is. As terrible as that sounds, everyone's gonna have negative experiences, but we just don't like to shine a light on them because we want to stay happy. So I have 2 negative experiences that probably are I like to not think about because it really hurts. So I think probably my least favorite one was at an AWA con. I had a significant other who was in the cosplay community as well, and we've been together and doing cosplay nonstop for 3 or 4 years, and we broke up finally. And I say that not out of spite, but literally they were doing some terrible things, and I was ignoring them and just putting a blind eye. I'm like, oh, it's not that bad. Like, there's a reason for it. I was making excuses for my significant other, and that's not okay because they weren't just hurting me; they were hurting other people, and that's the worst of it. And I blame myself for that every day. That not only did I get hurt, but other people I cared about got hurt because I chose to ignore it. But we finally broke up, and we tried to remain friendly and cordial to each other. And since we had a hotel room for AWA, and we're both broke college kids, I was like, okay, fine. Like, you can crash, you can stay, it's whatever, but my brother and his best friend are coming. So there's 4 people in this room. It's him, and then my 2 brothers, and me. Well, my brother and his friend. Well, basically, he was never there, which was fine. I didn't want to deal with him. But I was doing my own thing at the con, enjoying things. But the problem was, since we had been in the community for so long, that they told all of our mutual friends that the breakup was my fault and that I was the terrible person and painted me out to be this horrible person that just didn't give people second chances and just didn't listen to the whole story, and it was really bad. And all those friends and that whole circle that I was with and I'd been with for years just pushed me aside. Like, I went to go see them and hang out with them at the con, and I was blown off. I was ignored. I had one of them come up to me and be like, so we need to have this talk. So you, insert X's name here, really aren't needing to break up. Like, you didn't give Tim a chance to explain himself, and I think you're really just jumping to conclusions. And they, of course, didn't get the whole story, didn't know that this has been going on for not a week, not a month, but 2 years this has been going on. And so I lost all those friends in a matter of days. And, like, I don't discredit them. I don't think they're bad people. It's just they chose to believe what they want to believe. And I wasn't going to drag anyone down into my drama. I don't like to do that, and I choose not to do that. So I just let it be. And I'm still very friendly with them. If I see them at a con, or if they message me happy birthday, or like, hey, what's up, I'll respond. I'm like, hey, how's it going? Like, good to see you. You look great. Like, it's fine. But we're not as close as we used to be, and that hurts. That hurts a lot. But what topped that weekend off, on the icing on the cake, was I was out and about doing my own thing, and he brings a girl back to our room. And the jealousy thing is not the problem here. The problem is my little brother, who, I say little, but he's 20, was in that room with his friend, and my ex is on an air mattress, making out, shirtless, getting hay fever all over his body with a girl who we have no idea who this girl is. And it was just like, my brother calls me, he's like, hey, so can you help? Because we don't know what to do. Well, I go in there, and I'm just like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, are you an idiot? Like, we're 22, 23 years old, and you're acting like you're 17. Like, come on. Like, act mature. So he got kicked out for the rest of the weekend, and I paid him back from the room. I was like, just leave. Just freaking leave. And that was the end of that. So that was a pretty bad experience. And it was, and it had nothing to do with cosplayers. It had nothing to do with, like, the con itself. That was all personal stuff that ruined it. So I try not to let me go into the con think about it. I I've gone to plenty of AWAs afterwards with better people. And it's been great. I love every second of it. It was just, when I went home that year from AWA, I was happy that it was over. And I hated thinking about that. Because you never, like, usually you just are upset the con's over. You're not happy that it's over.
Yeah.
So it was really tough. And the second one was, my friend Tiffany, she was pretty decently sized cosplayer, but like I said, she threw in the towel. She had a family, she had a kid, Like, she still loves the community. She still supports it. She helps me whenever I have cosplay, like, hang-ups and, like, I hit a wall or I'm just having, like, artist block. She helps me every single time. She's given me all her wigs, all her stuff she's never going to use again. Like, she is awesome. But she went to a con, her first con back since having a kid, and we did with my goddaughter, her daughter. We did a Studio Ghibli group. It was so cute. She was Kiki, her daughter was Gigi, and I was Shiro. And we just had so much fun walking around. My goddaughter was like 2, and she was just like pointing out like Pokemon, Sailor Moon. Like, she was just so freaking cute. And they headed out. They were only there for the day, and I was on my way just waltzing around in the main lobby area. And I have my cosplay on, it's still Shiro, and I have a Haku like dragon still attached to me, and he's safety pinned in so he doesn't fall off. And this girl, who's also a fairly well-known cosplay player, but names aren't important, and we're not going to go there. She comes, and just because she doesn't like my friend, for personal reasons, nothing to do with me, because I've never actually met this person in person, in face-to-face. We've never had a conversation in our life. She comes in with her big spiky armor from World of Warcraft and like shoulder checks me. And one of her like armor pieces grabs the dragon and rips it straight out of my cosplay. And like the whole panel area just is ripped. And I'm livid. I'm so freaking ticked off because like at first I didn't register what happened. I was like, what? And like I was by myself and I called my friend, and once I saw the girl who did it and she like snickered at me and did like a little laugh like, ha, I got you or whatever. I called her and I was like, hey, so and so cosplay just did this to me. My cosplay's ruined. I just want to let you know in case some stuff's to set online or they try to start crap. I didn't do anything to them. I let them walk away even though I really didn't want to. They're like, no, thank you. Do you need me to turn around? Like, I was like, no, it's just bull crap because, you know, you stepped out of the community, you left this, and people are still like instigating crap, and now I'm being the scapegoat for their animosity towards you. Like, that's just bull crap. Because people always want to blame someone else. They don't want to blame themselves. And I'm not saying anyone was in the right or wrong, but you don't destroy someone's cosplay out of spite. Whether or not she intended to destroy my cosplay or not, she still did it. And I was pissed. I was so freaking angry. Ooh.
Yeah, that's a really, really terrible thing to do. Oh my gosh. I would be totally pissed too because I can't imagine the amount of work that you probably put into that cosplay. Speaking of the amount of work,
it's my favorite Ghibli movie, so I was so proud of it, and then it was like gone, ruined. Now I have to remake it.
Speaking of like making and like the amount of work put into cosplay, what's like one of the cosplays that you're most proud of that you put the most work into? Any of that?
So proud of and work into are two different answers.
Yes.
But so proud of. My most proud of is Overhaul from My Hero Academia, or Boku no Hero, whatever you want to call it. But Overhaul, he's my favorite villain, easily. As much as everyone hates him because of his character, like the villain in himself, he was just cool. Like his concept, his quirk, everything about him was just awesome. And the fact that he had misophonia. He was misophobic was another cool feature. Like, it just added to his character dimension. He wasn't another typical bad guy that was mean to kids. Like, he was this whole other dimension of a character, which I appreciated. And his design was just freaking cool. So I made his mask, and that's the prop I'm most proud of. Like, it looks so cool. And I love that prop. I protected that prop when I flew back. It was around my neck. Didn't go in a suitcase. It went through a security check with me every single time, and I got looks from the people when I took it off and put it in the bin to walk through the x-ray machine. Didn't care. Worth it. It's safe and sound. But I love that prop. I worked so hard on it, and my makeup for Overhaul was on point. Like, I did every detail, like, to the T with him. Like, my contacts were perfect. I did his earrings on the correct side. I did 3. Like, and I'm not saying if you don't do that, your Overhaul's not good. Like, I'm not saying that at all, but I was just so proud. The tiny little details I for once did. Like, I went the extra mile for this character, and the end result made me feel like I didn't recognize myself. Mm-hmm. When I look at pictures, I don't see myself in those pictures, and that's just a cool feeling, and I was so proud of that. And like, it brought in a lot of people, and like a lot of people were like, oh my gosh, like overhaul, that's so cool. And it also got me a lot of recognition, which is not important in cosplay, and I don't cosplay for other people. But the fact that other people appreciated the work that I put into it made me feel good. Yeah. And it's nice. The validation's nice every now and then. I'm not looking for it, but when it comes, I'm not gonna like not appreciate it. Like, I'm very appreciative of all the people that compliment my cosplay. I really am. But the most work, that is easily Bakugo and all his different variations that I have. So much work went into that boy. Like, I did a post a couple weeks ago, maybe like a month ago, of like my very first Bakugo to my most recent Bakugo. And the wigs, I've gone through 3 different wigs with him. I've gone through so many different outfits with him, like everything. My first Bakugo cosplay, which there's not many pictures of because I hate it so much, mostly because of the wig, was when he's chained up at the sports festival with the mask and the bracers and the box. Mm-hmm. I made all of that.
Really?
And I walked around AWA in September in the blazing Georgia heat, chained up, unable to talk, unable to use my freaking hands. I walked around like that, and I made that box. It was my biggest prop up until the giant hammer I made. I was just so proud of that. It was a lot of work, and I just was very meticulous. Like, I zoomed in on the pictures, manga pictures of the anime, screenshots, everything, to get like the lines right, the measurements right, the dimensions right, everything. That thing is so detailed. I want to remake it to make it look more like metal, because it's not very metal looking or metallic looking, but I'm really proud of that one. But then his hero outfit, I've borrowed other people's, and now I've got my own, which I've yet to fully wear. Like, it had a lot of like technical errors because his hero outfit is so freaking impractical. It is so, it looks cool, but his hero outfit is so impractical. It's ridiculous. So it was hard to walk in, but I made it a little better. And then I've made a festival samurai armor for Bakugo. I've done that one. I've done a date night Bakugo. I've now done a Shibari Bakugo. Like, I've done all different variations of Bakugo. So I've put in so much work with him, gone through wigs, gone through different contacts, gone through different makeup styles, gone through different costumes. Like, he's been a lot of work, but it's worth it because I love him.
Back to your overhaul, somebody did ask how you made the mask, and that's actually a really cool idea. Like, I know that you posted it somewhere. Where'd you post it?
So my overhaul mask, my tutorial, my step-by-step videos, pictures, everything is on my highlights on my Instagram. It's there, it's on the top, and it's also another highlight reel that's a little bit more detailed is Holy Grails, because I actually use their template. They let me borrow their paper cutouts, and most people think like I ripped them off. No, I asked permission, they let me borrow it, I credited them, I did everything. But I cut it out, and then I gave it back to him, and then I started reshaping it to my face, because their face and my face are very different. I made it fit, and then we used different materials. Like, they used different buttons on mine, and I used some different painting techniques, but all of the steps that I used are there. And then my mask is pleather, and I use, little buckles, the ones you have to squeeze on the side to pull out. I use those. I used one here, and then one up here, and I, safety pin it in my wig cap. So my mask is actually under my wig instead of on top. While some people put it on top, but I don't like the way it makes the wig stick up in weird places. Mm-hmm. But I made it so it's made out of craft foam. It's made out of googly eyes. It's made out of embroidery thread, pleather that I used scraps from, elastic, and clips. Other than that. Oh, and a hole puncher to make the holes for the thread. Mm-hmm. But I think I spent a total, which price doesn't matter, but I think I spent a total of $20 on that mask. Between the fabric, the clips, the paint. I used, there's this dollar store in Japan called Daiso, and it's essentially a Dollar Tree. I used their paint, I used their buckles, I used their thread. The only thing I didn't use was their craft foam because I used the thinner craft foam, but they didn't have the thick. So the thick craft foam I bought from a department store, and the buttons on the big circle ones that are right here. Oh, and the little gold accent pieces on my pleather part are thumbtacks that I cut the spikes off of.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Pretty
so,
cool.
and, like, that's, like, ours, like, while the base of mine and Holy Girls Mask are the same, we are very, like, not very, but we're still different in our techniques, because we're different people, and so I made mine a little different. So you're welcome. If you like theirs better, use their tutorial. If you like mine, use my tutorial. But, and I also, like, sent my, like, I gave tips and tricks to Prickly and Ghost Boy, so hopefully their overhauls are done too. I just want to see it. I want to do a big, like, triple overhaul shoot.
That would be
so
cool.
badly. I want to so much. So I keep pushing them. I'm like, work on overhaul. They're like, I don't know what to do. Work on overhaul.
Okay, on a separate note, because you're most proud of Overhaul, what cosplay of yours are you least proud of?
That's tough. Because, like, I try to find a little bit of positivity in all my cosplays and, like, little things I like about them. But probably the one cosplay I'm not super proud of is Asuna from Sword Art Online. She was my, like, she's like baby me, like I said earlier, but, like, the wig was like I didn't know how to cut the bangs, so the bangs were, like, all, like, weird and everything, and then like, her braids were a little messy. Her cosplay itself, the outfit itself looked really good, but the tights I kept tugging at all day because I didn't attach them to, like, pantyhose and, like, have them stay up all day. I actually got blood on it because I, like, tried to safety pin parts of it into me, or, like, on me, and I stabbed myself. Yeah, I know, and, like, got blood on it, so the white on the blood, and it was just, it's bad. I cleaned it, it's fine, it's whatever. But I didn't have the right shoes for it either, so, like, I didn't like that. And my sword was made out of popsicle sticks and cardstock, so it just didn't hold up, and it warped really badly. So, like, there was a lot of things I wish I'd done better. I didn't hate how I looked, but it definitely wasn't my favorite look. So that's definitely the one I'm probably least proud of. That and my original Bakugo wig is bad. It was real bad. Like, it's gone. Like, I didn't sell it to anyone. I just got rid of it. Like, it just doesn't exist.
It just disappeared.
It just vanished. Who knows where it is?
On the same note, somebody. Sorry, what?
I would say, other than that, yeah, that's about it.
Oh yeah, but on the same note, somebody asked, how do you overcome your cosplay challenges? You want to cover that a little bit?
Yeah, so cosplay challenges are everywhere, and no one wants to talk about them, and it's tough because we all have them. Even popular cosplayers that are, you know, have millions and millions of followers, and cosplay is like their full-time job. They have negativity and problems to overcome. We all do. But for me, the hardest thing for me is to try to find something. Like, I always try to find something I like. Even if it's like, I like the color yellow I chose for this paint. I like the cutting angles I cut on this craft foam. Like, it's just little things to make it feel like this wasn't a wasted effort. Like, it's tough. It really is, because I'm one of those people that I look at something and I'm like, oh, but that cosplay over there did so much better. Like, ugh, I don't want to wear it now because it doesn't look as good. Don't do that, because no one is gonna tell you that just because cosplayer A wore this, you can never wear this, because only they're allowed to do that. And if they do, then they're just they don't need to be part of this community, because that's just not what this community is built on. This community is built on loving the anime characters and bringing them to life, no matter which variation or style or differences there are. Not one if only one cosplayer was allowed to do a character for all eternity, cons would suck. Like, it would be no fun. Like, part of me loves finding other cosplayers that are cosplaying the same thing as me and taking pictures of them. I love doing that. So I'm like, look at this other person that likes what I like. Like, you just gotta find the little things and make it positive. Don't shine a negative light on it. And, like, some people have that mindset, which is fine, if that's who you want to be. But for me, for my challenges and my struggles and difficulties, I have to try to find one thing, just one thing, that I just am proud of or makes me happy about my cosplays, or just keeping cosplaying in general. Like, it's tiny little things that keep me going. And then also, like, my amazing support system. My family and my, like, non-traditional family are so supportive. Even if they have, like, my aunt and my mom, if they have no clue what I'm doing, they still are just like, that looks really cool. Like, comment. Like, my aunt, like, I did Dobby, And my aunt has no idea who Dottie is. Never even heard of it. But I posted a picture of it. And my aunt likes it, comments, and then calls me. All in the span of like 3 minutes. And was like, who is this character? He looks really cool. Did you paint all that? Or is that like a mask? Like, what is that? It looks so cool. It's like, thank you. So it's just things like that. And my mom is also really great. Like, I'll tell my mom, like, hey, I'm doing a Hana hockey thing this weekend, and she's like, I don't know what that is. She like goes on her laptop and looks it up. She's like, who hurt you? It's little things like that. Like, they're trying to understand. And I know, like, I'm one of those grateful people that has a family that understands and like understands and supports me. Other people don't, but then you make a family that does. Like, I have Holy Girl Cosplay, I have Prickly, I have Jasper, I have literally so many people that I can go to if I'm ever feeling really defeated. Like, and that's not even all of them. Like, I have a whole group of people that aren't even cosplayers that I'm like, hey, like, guys, what do you think of this? Because I don't know what to do. Like, I'm stuck. And they'll be like, well, why don't you try this? Why don't you try this? Or like, what are you talking about? That looks great. Like, I go to them and I'm not looking for reassurance. I'm just like, hey guys, like, I'm feeling like absolute crap. And like, I'm going through a spell. Like, I went through a spell a couple months ago where I was like, I don't want to post on Instagram. I don't want to post on my story. I don't even want to cosplay. Like, my stuff was in a box. And I was like, I don't even know if I'm going to bring it back from Japan. Because I don't even know if I want to keep doing it. And I had a couple different people I talked to about it. And they're like, don't. Just stop. But don't throw it away. Because you don't want to regret it. They're like, you're amazing and you're great. And what you do is really talented. But you need to take some time away because you've been doing more cosplay the past couple weeks than you've ever done in your life. And it takes a lot out of you. It does. It takes so much out of you because you spend so much time making it and like doing prep work and like buying supplies and like you mess up, you recreate it. And then you're also like looking at other cosplayers and you're just like, ugh. But then you have this support system that are just like, you know, they don't tell me like I'm being stupid or like, why would you do that? Like, they're like, yeah, stop. Don't post anything for a couple weeks. Who cares? You don't have to. It's not for anybody. It's for you. Take a break, readjust, and do that. And that's what I did. Like, I think I posted like one post for like a month. And that's all that happened. And when I came back, my followers were so happy to see me. My friends were like, see, we need to come back. It was only a matter of time. You just needed some time for yourself. And that's another important thing. Whether or not you're a big cosplayer or you're a newbie cosplayer, take some time for yourself. Don't just throw yourself into it and drown, because you will drown. There's so much fandoms, there's so many people now with like TikTok and Musical.ly and all that other stuff. There's so much. Like, cosplay can come from all different directions and it can be overwhelming. The biggest thing is to make sure you take some time for yourself, which I've been guilty of not doing, and I'm being better about it. But finding some positivity in your work and what you do in your hobby and taking some time for yourself is how I overcome all of those every single time.
So not that hasn't been inspirational enough, but do you have any like final parting words, like advice, tips, tricks, or anything for anybody watching?
For me, because like, you know, I may seem like I know what the crap I'm doing, and I have people ask me for advice. I'm still learning. There's so much I'm still learning. Like, don't be afraid to ask questions. You know, cosplayers may seem like gods on a pedestal, but we're not. We're so not. Even if we have thousands and thousands of followers, reach out to us. Don't just send us hey, because then we're like, okay, like, we get thousands of those. We don't have time. But if you send me a question, like a message, and like, hey, quick question, how did you do this? And I'll be like, oh, yeah, sure, no problem. I can't tell you the amount of times, like, I've gotten stuck and I've messaged, like, really big dog cosplayers that everyone knows their name and, like, ask them a question, like, hey, I really like what you did with those pants for those. Like, what supplier did you use? Or, like, how did you go about that? Like, don't be afraid to ask questions. Like, my inbox is always open. You know, now that, you know, my time zones are better in America, like, I can respond better. Like, I always, when I was in Japan, I was like, yo, I'm really sorry, I wasn't ignoring you. Like, I literally just woke up. I know it's the middle of the night for you, but here, let me answer your question. Like, I always try to answer questions that people ask me. Like, I really do. And, you know, I'm not like, I can't be other people's therapist because I'm barely my own. But if you have, like, a genuine cosplay question, and you literally are just looking for tips, don't be afraid to ask, because, you know, no matter how big or small we are, we all started somewhere, and we all got help from someone. And if you don't have that help, I'm more than happy to be that help. Just ask me, you know, and if I don't know, I usually will ask someone of my friends that I do know that has maybe done something up the alley that you're looking for and help you. Because I don't want you not knowing how to do something to be the reason you stop doing this amazing hobby. Because that's just, not everyone's fortunate enough to have a community or people near them that just are able to go to and ask questions. Like, heck, I didn't for the longest time, and I just got lucky. I got super freaking lucky with the people in my life. And if you need someone, I'm happy to be that person. Just reach out. That's all I got to say. Oh, and also, if you do follow me and you've been here since the beginning, thank you. If you're new, welcome, and thank you again. Like, I'm grateful for all my followers. Even though I don't have a lot, I love every single one of you guys and how fortunate I am for you.
That was so sweet. Sorry. I was just so concentrated. But yeah, like, guys, if you can't tell, obviously True Chaos Cosplays is a really sweet person, and I love them so much. If you're not already, go follow them. But yeah, thanks for watching this episode. That's it. I'm gonna end the thing now. You guys already know.
Thank you for interviewing me. It was really sweet.
You know, I already promised you I would. Like, I love you so much. Okay, guys. I'm gonna see you guys next week with a new episode. Bye.